I'm Yar Wolf, co-founder here at Delphi, joined with my partner Guy Toole, and we're doing a live sprint plan. We've been doing it 52 weeks this year almost, right? We got 3 weeks left till the end of the year, guys, and that's really what this is about. We do it every week. It's about getting everything lined up for our week so that we can work within the week and make forward progress. And guys, 3 weeks left till 2023. If you saw the post, I want you to ask yourself this one question right now. Okay, ask yourself this one question. Are you sitting on the sidelines or are you playing in the playoffs? That's the question. Are you sitting on the sidelines or are you playing in the playoffs? And here's what this means, because this is the time, Guy. I thought about this a lot this weekend. This is the time with 3 weeks left in the year. We talked about December. We talked about most people. They're already on the sidelines, right? The holidays are here. They're thinking about toys and all that other stuff, which is great. I'm thinking about it too. But this is the time when winners finish strong. And back when I was playing sports, that was something the coach once told me, is like, we got to finish everything strong. You don't stop until the whistle gets blown, in a way, right? So you finish strong on everything that you do. So remember that part of having the mindset of a champion is to always finish strong no matter what, right? I'm as guilty as the next person. I'll come up with as many excuses as it takes to want to give up. But the reality is, independent, whatever I'm doing now is the time to finish strong. So Guy, I'll throw it over to you to get some thoughts on that.
I mean, there's so much to this, from the aspect of finishing strong, staying diligent, continually working. But there's something that grabs at me, reaches, is are we finishing strong, or are we continually doing the same thing over and over again? And maybe that thing that we're doing over and over again is nothing. Yeah. And we have the thought and the idea of we want to finish strong. Yeah. But we don't get into action. Yeah. I'd sent you some inspirational type things through the weekend and this morning, and really just talking about being relentless, continue moving forward, finish strong, whatever label you want to put on it, and understand that we've got to get into action. We're never going to get where we need to be if we refuse to do the things that we need to do. As in, if I'm looking for a yes in life, a yes in my business, in whatever I do, and I refuse to hear no's, then I'm refusing to move forward. Because a lot of times we know that when people hear no, they fold, they quit. And that's life. No is life. You want to take sports analogies, whatever analogy you want to do, it's no's or it's wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. If I was told I'm doing it wrong every time, I'm going to figure out how to fix that and do it right. If I'm being told no every time, I'm going to look at my message or my strategy in what I'm talking about. Maybe I was talking the whole time and I wasn't listening. And I need to sit down and listen and always interview. I'm always interviewing. I'm always curious. I'm asking questions. And if I'm not asking questions, then the other individual is the one that is controlling the conversation and is trying to see where I fit in their life. Mm-hmm. And if I'm just giving one-word answers or not engaged in this, then I don't fit in their life. Mm-hmm. And we have to understand that sometimes when I'm having that conversation and the roles are reversed, and now I'm out here asking the questions and just trying to learn more about this individual to see if they do something that I don't do and they can do it better than me. I want to acknowledge that and bring them into the fold. Mm-hmm. In this message, it was almost talking like quantum physics. Raise your hand here if you can explain quantum physics. See, we don't all have to understand quantum physics. My strategy is I've teamed up with someone who knows this and who knows how to communicate it. And I can reach out to people and say, there's a message here that we can reduce your learning curve in advancing you in business and advancing you in success and advancing you in your life. But if I'm not willing to go talk to people, no one's going to be moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the cliff notes of learning, right? The learning through other people's experiences, truncating that time. You talk about it, going to get a higher education. And if they say it's 10,000 hours to be a master at something, I believe we can be masters at anything if we have the right relationships to support us in learning and educating ourselves on moving forward. We're doing this now in business. If we haven't got what we want, then have we really worked hard enough to get what we want? Or do you need to adjust your strategy?
So true, Guy. So true. Look, okay, guys, whatever business you're in, and I know we're all in business. We've talked about this before. We're all in business. And Guy, I want to thank you so much. You sent me so much good stuff. And I mean, that's your superpower. You just continue to hold me accountable and share information with me that makes me think and ask questions. Guys, whatever business you're in, you got to be solving a problem. Think about this, right? Your customer is not looking for problems. They're looking for answers. So if you're the person who solves a problem that they have, you're going to create business. That's what it's all about. Guy, you also mentioned one thing talking about strategy. If you're here right now, you're here for a reason. I don't know what the reason is, but you're here. You're watching this. You're listening to this. You're getting something out of it. A lot of you have been coming almost every week for an entire year. So, Guy, I think we're doing something right here. And the reality is, if you're here at the close of December and you have not achieved your annual goal, right? You're not where you want it to be. And we talked about it's not linear. There's this curve to it and all of this other stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about it in 2023 again, just to remind everybody and ourselves, guys, don't give up on your goal or your idea. Think about this. Don't give up on your goal or your idea. Guy hit the nail on the head. Maybe you need to change your strategy. Think about that. You know, we talk about it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, right? We've all heard it. You know what I mean? If you're doing something over and over and over again, first of all, I want to commend you. Why? You got the discipline to do it over and over and over again, right? But the reality is, if it's not working, maybe you need to make a change and then do that over and over and over again. We want to be relentlessly consistent on the items that work. And Guy, I think the other thing that you said that is so powerful here, you mentioned it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert, right? To become a master or master something. Guys, I have 2 master's degrees. I spent so much time in school, it makes my head hurt. And here's the other reality. If we look at the curve, the learning curve, it's Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule. You can get 80% of the way to mastery in 20% of the overall time. So if it's 10,000 hours, about 2,000 hours, guys, you can cut it by 80% of the time. Then you can spend the rest, that other 80% just closing that last 20% gap. Think about it. Just think about it. But it all boils down to one big word that Guy said that we have to be doing every single day, and that's taking action. It's taking action, right? I mean, we can all be in agreement right here, and some of us are going to take action and some of us aren't. And then we can come back and we can look at the results. We call it a retrospective. And I can guarantee you those who took action will have made more forward progress. And that's just the reality of the game. So before we open this up, I know we're still on the live, Guy. I know we try to push some stuff out here before opening it up for some discussion here. I want to close in telling you guys a story about this weekend, because I think it's so fitting And then I was sitting at breakfast with my family. It's something I carve out as part of an important priority in my life is family time. And I'm talking to my 4-year-old son. And I asked my son, first of all, hey, buddy, what was your favorite part of this weekend? And he's in preschool, and the school that he's at had a little event. It was a holiday craft fair, and they had all these things. And he said, man, Dad, I really loved going and meeting Santa Claus and sitting with Santa Claus and telling him what I wanted for Christmas. And I said, that's awesome, buddy. And then I asked him one big question. I said, well, what do you think you're going to get? Do you think you're going to get coal, or do you think you're going to get some presents? And he goes, I'm going to get some presents. And then the last thing I did is I turned to him with this idea of finish strong. And I said to him, well, it's not Christmas yet. So you better continue to be good and do all the things that you're supposed to be doing if you want Christmas Day to come and you get presents versus coal. Guys, now, how is that relevant to us here as adults? Come on, think about it. If I have to break it down for a 4-year-old, I know we can all understand. We got to put in activity. We got to do what we're supposed to be doing, and we got to do it till the very end. And if we do those things, then the results are inevitable. So we'll stop the live here. We're going to open this up for any comments, questions, tips, tricks, and things like that. If you want to join the conversation, guys, make sure you're part of the LFI community. Get into action and start getting engaged. So, guys, if you want to stop the thread or